Hey guys, how are you? It's Jaya, the Energy Queen. Thank you so much for watching my channel, by the way, and I'm sorry I haven't been doing so many videos lately. I've just been, honestly, like working on saving animals in New York. It's like this whole new thing that um, I'm in this whole world doing this now, so you never know where life will take you. And um, yeah, but I wanted to show up. I wanted to say a couple things. And one of the things I wanted to talk about is how, like, God is good. And I think a lot of the times, like, our struggle in life comes from a belief that God is not who he really is. Because sometimes our concept of God is based on, like, the way our parents treated us, really. I think it's the way that we kind of, like, when we're born, it's like they are God to us, basically, where our survival depends on them. We need them, and yet they're human and they're flawed and they have issues, and we don't understand that. So you can spend the rest of your life really having almost a concept of God that's not even who God really is. And sometimes too, when you're growing up, you can be forced into religion. You can be forced into going to church, and you have to believe this, you have to believe that, and then some people feel really restricted by that. And so again, they feel like God is this restrictive, judgmental thing. And I wanted to talk about the energy of God, the energy of Jesus, the energy, because that is something that doesn't lie to you, and there is no illusion with that. And that's what actually transformed my relationship with and my understanding of. I think I always could feel the energy of God, but Jesus, I didn't quite understand, to be honest. Even though I grew up Catholic, I just didn't quite, and I didn't really know how to tell anybody. I was just like, I just don't really, like, I just didn't feel like I had a personal connection. And that's somebody who grew up Catholic, you know, so that connection doesn't come just because you're Catholic. That connection doesn't, even people who tout themselves as Jesus followers, it's like sometimes people do things because they think they have to, or they feel fear, and they're really doing it out of fear. And true religion is not supposed to be fearful. Your relationship with God is not supposed to be about fear, because that's not who he is. And I work with energy. God taught me to work with energy. Jesus, like, they trained me. And the language that I believe, encouraged to use is about energy, because energy is something that applies to everybody, no matter what your background. And yeah, like, and for me, like, I truly didn't understand Jesus until I met his energy, till I really started to connect with his energy. I understood his energy, and it was familiar, and I realized that it had been there my entire life, and it felt like me. It felt like the real me. So that's who he really is. And God is the same thing. God is like, just, if I could talk about, like, them as like a person, it would just be like the best person that you know, the happiest, the most loving, the most who believes in you the most, like, who, just think of any positive quality you've ever seen in anybody ever and put them all into one being, and that's what God is. So, like, all this stuff about, like, suffering and fear, like, to me, like, I think maybe suffering can be like a step along the road that you master, you know, and you unite that with the suffering of Jesus and stuff. But I think for a lot of us, the first step is just sort of like redefining that fundamental belief about who God is, and that he's good. You know, God is positive energy. That's what he is. And that's the force in the universe that has power. Negative energy doesn't have any power. That's why it always has to manipulate us and try to control us and get us to be afraid, because we have the power. You have the power. Did you know that? You have power because God, his spirit is in you. Like, that's how you exist. So things that are positive are real, and things that are positive are power in the world, and things that are positive are creative. That's why you also have creative power with your intention and with your ability and with your, you're literally, I was thinking about this like the other day, like we are literally creators. Like we're filled with the spirit of God. And it's not that we don't need God, obviously we do always, but he gave us this ability. Like, have you ever noticed, like, you think about something and then you see it in your reality, or like all that stuff about law of attraction and everything? It's like, that's real because we are supernatural beings. We have that thing in us that like that quality, that supernatural thing. So you're not just a human being, you're a supernatural spirit that has the ability to like focus your intention on something and make that grow, or visualize something and believe it and see it happen. And life is not just about the physical, which is about taking action and working and doing all these things. It's also about, that's all the masculine. It's about the feminine too, the spirit. You have so much spiritual power. And that's why I work clearing negative energy, because negative energy is the fear. It's everything that's not really you. And it can accumulate in your system and block you from your power, block you from who you really are. And God created you to be this incredible light being. And that's really the truth of you. To me, it's just like negative energy is just something you clean out of the way. It's like cleaning a dirty window. That's really what it is. And it's also not personal. I wish people understood that more, that the traumas that you've been through and the fears that you carry and everything like that, like, it feels so personal, but sometimes that stands in the way because you start to form your identity around negative things and negative, and I'm afraid of this and I'm this, and I have this issue and that issue. It's like, honey, that's not you. That's not you. That's something you can grow through, and your soul can like expand into this area. I was telling my client a little while ago, negative energy is like a void. All it means is that there's a space to be filled with positive energy. So if you have a trauma, let's say you have a trauma with, I don't know, with dating and abandonment. I've had that. All that means, it doesn't mean you're going to get abandoned the rest of your life. All that means is that there's the potential to grow through, like, for that space to be filled up with not being abandoned. Like, what's the opposite of that experience? It's like learning that you won't always be abandoned. There's that space to be filled in. There's that potential. Sorry. My throat chakra has been clearing like crazy, so that's why I'm coughing. But take any negative thing happening to you, or that you've been carrying, and I want you to see it that way, because that is the truth of it. And I hope that helps. I hope these ideas just help start cooking something for you in the way you see reality. And and to circle back to God, it's like God is, I think it's a really powerful prayer. This is what I wanted to make the video about originally. Sometimes I talk about different stuff, but it's a really powerful prayer I learned the other day. If you just lay there, close your eyes, and just meditate on the fact that God is good. Like, just lay there and just connect to to God, to his spirit, to that energy that is him. And just meditate with that, knowing that it's good. That it loves you, believes in you, that it cares about you, that it's watching and it's here and it created you, this energy. Like, meditate on that. And I started to have all these supernatural experiences when I did that the other day. And I just couldn't believe how simple that is, but how powerful it is. And the reason why it's powerful is because it's true. And when we walk around, every day, even if you say prayers and you ask for help, because I do, obviously, I work with energy. This is something I talk about every day. But I realized that I was still walking around my life, and I think it's so common to do this, feeling like you don't know where God is because you don't see him. You don't know where he is. You don't know if he knows what's going on, I gotta go. But if you meditate on that, take some time and just meditate on that, I swear you will feel something really special, even supernatural. You will feel blessings come to you. And I know that if you particularly also do this with Jesus, especially, and you form it in the belief, not just that he's good and meditate on his good qualities, that he cares about you, but also phrase it, I trust you. Because when you trust him, there's something really incredible energetically that happens. And I actually felt like a ball of light go straight into my solar plexus when I did that the other day. And I don't know why, but it's like you can receive blessings. And sometimes you feel them. If you see energy, you can see it come into you. And Jesus, I know I've heard him say this in different appearances to saints. And Saint Faustina in Poland is one. She wrote a diary and she said that he wants us to trust him. And he literally said, like, when you trust me, it helps me give you things. It helps me help you. So it's like an energetic mechanism. You can think about it like a button that you press. And when you press that button, he helps you. He brings, like, what is that energy? It's positive energy. And your energy creates your reality. So when you get a blessing, it looks like that. It's like a ball of light that comes in you. When it's inside of you, it will now reflect something positive in your experience. And I think this is such a powerful and yet so simple of a thing. It can only take you 5 minutes, and you can do this for 5 minutes. And I swear you're going to see your reality get better. You're going to see good things happen. And I think we are powerful, we are powerful spirits, and that's really important for us to know. You're not just powerful in the world, but you're powerful with your spirit and your energy. But at the same time, we can't trap ourselves into thinking we have to fix everything because it's just too big sometimes. So doing something like this can make such a big difference. While you're doing this, even ask him for specific things. Say, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with that. I want you to help me. And you will see something happen. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope you're doing well. And let me know if this helped you and anything good that happens when you do this in the comments. Bye.